This is 5 on your side at 5. Focused on you.
We continue with a weather alert. Today started out mild, now some light snow in spots, but tonight much colder with strong winds bringing in Arctic air. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Kelly Jackson.
And I'm Ann Allward. We had some rain and snow today, but the main concern is the extreme cold and this fierce wind. We have team coverage. Diamond Palmer's keeping an eye on road conditions from the storm tracker. Let's get to Weather First meteorologist Jim Castillo.
Yeah, you saw that wind chill on that map there in St. Louis at 5 degrees now. And you look in Cuba, Missouri, just a little bit of white now showing up on the ground. And again, earlier we had wet pavement. The wind kind of dried out the pavement. And then now it's so cold, you just get whatever snow flurry activity around and light snow. It kind of blows across the pavement and not really too many problems. We've seen a couple slick spots in Phelps County, but that's about it. Even a couple snowflakes were flying by this camera here in Chesterfield. I don't see too many now, but we do have a winter weather advisory until 6 p.m. for Phelps County. That's the only one that has seen a little bit of accumulation down there. And then on the Weather First Doppler radar, you can see these light snow showers now developing as that cold Arctic air squeezes out whatever moisture we have. We have really heavy rain earlier and now just turning into flurries and light snow showers. New Melly all the way through Wentzville and O'Fallon, Missouri, Cottleville, Chesterfield, Creve Coeur, all the way down to Arnold. Here is that low, very intense area of low pressure. Thunderstorms earlier out ahead of it in our southeastern counties, and now we're getting these very cold temperatures. 21 in Chesterfield, and then you factor in that wind chill, 7 in St. Louis right now, 24 degrees, west wind at 29, and some of those gusts this evening as high as 50, 55 miles an hour. So the wind advisory is widespread all the way through tonight and into tomorrow morning. That'll continue, and then the wind chill advisory and warning for the entire area as we get into tomorrow night. More on that coming up in Maine weather.
All right, we'll see you then, Jim. And we continue our team coverage with our 5 on your side storm tracker.
Here's Diamond Palmer. She's live along Interstate 270 northbound. Diamond.
Anna and Kelly, that's right. We are on Interstate 270 heading northbound to Creve Coeur, and we're going to switch cameras here to show you just a look at this. The concern isn't the rain, snow, or ice right now. It's the wind gust. People driving high-profile vehicles should be extremely cautious and reducing their speeds, as well as just keeping a safe distance from drivers. As you can see headed up here, the visibility is reducing just a little bit, so definitely be careful if you're driving right now, commuting from work. MoDOT says because of the rain stopping, they were able to treat most major roadways for drivers that plan to stay or have weekend plans.
We went ahead and got a treatment down on all the routes. So we had a salt treatment down, and fortunately with the precipitation stopping and the wind picking up, it's starting to dry out some of the roads. So we think we're in pretty good shape now for the evening rush.
Oil change, and we got blankets in there, cooler full of drinks and food if something would happen where we'd have to, settle down for a night before we'd get there.
Now, coming up in the next hour, we'll hear from the Missouri State Highway Patrol on how they plan to keep drivers safe during the winter weather. Reporting live here in St. Louis County, Diamond Palmer, 5 on your side.
Our Weather First forecast is online, of course. For that information at any time, you can text the word weather to 314-425-5355 and we'll send a link. A reminder, you can always watch our local news and weather anytime on our 5+ streaming app. Download that app for free on your Roku, Fire, or Apple TV. Search KSDK in your app store.
St. Luke's in St. Louis County is reducing services at several clinics and inside several divisions.
The healthcare provider said it's experienced, quote, unprecedented pressures. Our Justina Cornell joins us in studio with details behind this decision and, of course, some reaction from their patients. Justina.
Yeah, in a statement from St. Luke's, it said it's faced high inflation, labor shortages, and reimbursement challenges. And it continued by saying the effort to proactively realign resources is designed to ensure it is well adapted to the changed healthcare landscape and remains a thriving, independent healthcare organization for years to come. Now, yesterday, the St. Luke's team received a letter explaining those changes. The Vascular Access Center in Frontenac will consolidate into existing services in Chesterfield. Chesterfield. Now, quick care for kids, the inpatient pediatric nursing division, and the medical weight management clinic are closing. The plastic and reconstructive surgery clinic will no longer be under St. Luke's, and the OBGYN and breast surgeon clinic is adjusting the number of providers. Now, Renee Corti went to her appointment this morning at the weight management clinic only to find out it was closing in April. She says she's one of 5,000 weight loss patients impacted by this.
I'm fortunate because I'm nearing the end of my journey. However, there are people who are just beginning their journey. I remember what it was like to be that heavy and that overweight and that depressed. And the one thing that gave me hope was looking forward to this initial appointment, and that just got taken away from so many people. I'm very disappointed, extremely disappointed.
St. Luke's statement also said this is part of its strategic plan. The CEO added, quote, by making strategic adjustments today, we ensure we are a stronger, more resilient and robust health system tomorrow and will position for ongoing long-term success.
We have an update on the case of a death row inmate who claims he's innocent. Prosecutors are asking Missouri Supreme Court to wait on setting an execution date for Marcellus Williams. He is accused of stabbing Felicia Gale at her home in University City in 1998. His attorney says his DNA does not match what was found on the murder weapon. Prosecutors want more time to investigate his innocence claim. In 2017, there was an inquiry board to look into it, but it was dissolved last year. St. Louis County Police are still investigating, and prosecutors have hired a law firm to help. The state Supreme Court has not responded.
Jury selection is underway in the case of a man accused of killing a St. Louis police officer. Thomas Kenworthy is charged with shooting and killing Tamaris Bohannon in 2020. Police say Kenworthy barricaded himself inside a home and shot at the officers who responded to the scene. Last year, he pleaded not guilty by reason of insanity. That trial is scheduled to start on Tuesday.
St. Louis is officially calling on President Biden to demand an immediate bilateral ceasefire between Israel and Hamas.
The Board of Aldermen unanimously approved the new resolution, which also calls for the release of hostages and condemns Hamas for its surprise attack on October 7th. Our political editor, Mark Maxwell, was there when this resolution passed. Mark.
And Kelly, more than 100 pro-Palestinian demonstrators packed a City Hall hearing room today to support that ceasefire resolution. The last time this came up, police had to escort rowdy demonstrators out after competing resolutions touched a raw nerve. This time, the updated resolution passed unanimously with 12 votes, 2 members absent. Alderman Rasheen Aldridge said the first attempt was, in his words, ignorant. This time, he updated it to include calls for a bilateral ceasefire, release of all hostages, and a clear condemnation of the Hamas surprise attacks. Some critics had questioned whether this piece of paper will make any difference in the end, but the sentiment alone appeared to make a difference in the mind of Hassan Wadi, a Palestinian man who showed the board pictures of 9 family members he says were killed in airstrikes in November.
They love peace. They have nothing to do with the war. They love Jewish. They love America. They love everyone. They have no hate for anyone. They want just to live in a peace. They get killed.
I think it makes a huge difference. Regardless, I think St. Louis has been at the epicenter of many movements that has not just started locally, but been able to take those movements all the way up nationally. I think locally wise, it sends a message to the people that live here.
And we have a new reaction from Congresswoman Cori Bush tonight. She said, quote, I couldn't be prouder of the city of St. Louis. Quote, this is who we are. This is St. Louis. We are proudly pro-peace. We are proudly pro-humanity. The city will now send copies of this resolution to President Biden, Vice President Kamala Harris, and U.S. Senators Josh Hawley and Eric Schmidt.